everybody that is supporting me in customer service, in our marketing team, and everybody else that says, you know what, please give everybody at the Girl Scouts of Northern California our very best and thank them on behalf of all of us for the partnership and wish everybody a magical 2023. So from everybody at M2 Media, thank you. And here's to a great year together. I want to wrap up 2022 first before I go into 2023. And there's some important numbers that I'd like to share with you. And you'll understand why I'm sharing them with you in a second. But last year, when we first started the program, there was 19,000 girls that were registered as Girl Scouts at Girl Scouts of Northern California. Of those, 3,700 of them participated in the fall product program, and 3,725 roughly sold at least one or more orders. Now, those numbers look a little bit different because why were more girls selling? When I go back to two numbers down here and talk about the number of avatars created, which is 3,725, that's the number of websites that were created, online storefronts were created. So 100% of all the girls last year participating in the Take Action program actually created an online storefront. Now, you're going to hear several times tonight, more than several times, me talk about how easy it is to create an online storefront and how important it is to create an online storefront. It's a activity that takes 4 easy steps in 5 to 7 minutes. And the value of doing so is absolutely amazing. And we'll talk about that in a second. But let me tell you that last year, every girl participating in the program averaged $442 in total sales. That was all the nut and chocolates on the order card, as well as all the items sold online. So every girl brought in $442 on average. And every email that was put into the system, you've already heard me say it once, but the creating an online storefront is 4 easy steps. And one of those easy steps is to enter email addresses of family members, friends of our family, and even the people that our parents work with. So those email addresses go into the system, and then the system reaches out to those people, letting them know there's an opportunity to support the girls. Every email put into the system last year generated $18.51 in sales. So when you're talking to the troops or to the girls, you can let them know, hey, listen, let's do a little budgeting. If we want to raise this much money, and last year, every email address put in the system raised $18.51, how much will we bring in if we put in 10 email addresses? Well, that'll be $185. And then what happens if we put in 20 email addresses? That'll be roughly $361. So it's kind of simple math for the girls to understand that the more they put into the program, the more they're going to get out of the program. And last year online, the PGA was $378. When we compare that with the overall PGA, we see that 85% of the entire program last year was brought in through online sales. That's why it's so important to take those 4 easy steps in only 5 to 7 minutes to create an online store. And then lastly, I want to share with you that every troop that participated last year brought an average in just over $2,000 in sales. And when we look at the overall proceeds, that generates quite a bit of startup funds that can be used for fun activities throughout the year. So in training tonight, and I'm going to wrap up probably within 45 minutes or so, we're going to cover why this program is so important, why it's important for all of us to motivate and encourage the girls to participate. We're going to talk about what's new in the products, and there's some new products available this year. We'll go over the reward program very quickly, and then we'll jump into the online experience from the girls' perspective, from the customer's perspective, and wrap up with your perspective. And then we'll talk about the important dates, put up a little something about customer service, and then open up for questions and answers after I am done. And we should be out of here, like I said, in the next 45 minutes or so. But I want to remind everybody and thank everybody for all that you do to make this program successful. You're the ones that are making the difference. You're the ones working with the girls and facilitating what is known as the largest girl-led entrepreneurial program in the world. You're assisting these girls in earning the funds to support the girl-led adventures that they choose to do, service opportunities, locally, all throughout the country, and even those girls that go and take international trips. You're providing them the opportunity to learn really important skills. And ultimately, those girls will share those skills with friends within Girl Scouts and even outside of Girl Scouts, making sure that girls all over the country are learning the things that and enjoying learning the things that the girls in this program are learning. Some of the things that they're learning through this program, and this is really considered their first entrepreneurial experience for most girls. Now, of course, there's some girls that put the lemonade stand at the end of their driveway, or they do some pet sitting or babysitting. They build their little own business. But in general, this is the first really structured entrepreneurial program that they have, and it's their first chance to experience, practice, and perfect the skills of business ethics, decision making, goal setting, money management, and people skills. They're earning money, they're generating proceeds, they're earning rewards, all while very easily using our system and selling wonderful products like great tasting nuts and chocolates, magazines, and then a few other items that we're going to introduce shortly. Now, we're all in this together, and the reason we're all doing this together is because our goal is to make sure that every single girl that participates at the Girl Scouts of Northern California has a really great experience. They learn a lot, they make great relationships, and they perfect their skills, their personalities, and their communication skills so that when they actually get out in the real world, they're better equipped, they're better prepared than everybody else, and they have the better chance at being successful. So why do we want to motivate these girls to participate? Because of all that they learn in this program. When I do a lot of in-person trainings, I will ask around the room for volunteers to raise their hand and tell me something, a skill that they believe the girls learn by participating in this program. And they tell me they learn money management. They build their own confidence through this program. They learn how to utilize email marketing to be successful. They learn how to overcome rejection because not every single customer is going to say yes. And they have to learn how to move on to the next customer after they receive a no. They learn how to goal set for themselves and within their troop. They learn accountability to themselves and to their troop leaders in order to meet those goals. They become empowered to make decisions on their own, to be able to motivate themselves, to get up, to pick up that order card, and to become successful, to help their troop and all of their troop mates be successful. They learn how to step out of their comfort zone. The first time the girl picks up an order card and approaches an adult and says, "Will you support me, by buying these yummy nuts and chocolates?" It is a daunting thing. If you ever remember what it was like to be a kid, it is the first chance that they have to step out of the comfort zone. And when they receive a positive reaction, it becomes a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And then they start to learn how to communicate with people that they weren't originally comfortable communicating with. They learn how to use the technology we build in this system to be successful and to scale their success. They learn customer service, saying please and thank you, and the responsibility that comes with this entire program and so much more. And the girls, I ask them, why do you think the girls participate? Well, not one volunteer raised their hand and said, you know what? The girls participate because they really want to learn how to overcome rejection. Not one girl says, I want to do this for that reason. They do it because they love the rewards. They love the activities and the experiences that this program funds. So there's a win-win for everybody throughout this program. There's a win-win for the troop because the most generous proceeds in the entire country are right there at the Girl Scouts of Northern California, where 20% of the entire gross sales go back to the troop as proceeds. That is extremely generous, and it gives you all the opportunity to very easily, through this fall product program, generate a lot of funds in order to have a fun, successful, and adventurous Girl Scout year. The theme for the year is Own Your Magic. And notice I said the theme for the year because for the second year in a row, the same theme will be used for the fall product program that's used for the cookie program. So get used to it, enjoy it. It has a lot of fun colors and a lot of fun images available to benefit from throughout the entire year. But even though the theme is the same, we each still have our own mascot. And the mascot for the fall program this year is the Ocelot. There's lots of information to learn about the ocelot. Please take some time to go online and find out some of the information that you see on the screen. And lots more information is available for you to learn. But the whole idea of you learning it is so that you can teach the girls about it. And one of the reasons the girls love to learn about this is because A, they've never seen this animal for the most part before. So they're like sponges. They want to be able to soak it all up, and then they'll tell their friends about the ocelots. It makes them feel a little bit smarter when they can tell somebody else that doesn't know as much as they do. Plus, they're going to see it in the reward program, the plush version of the ocelot, which is one of the motivators that gets girls to want to participate in the fall product program. So please go online, look it up. And you're going to see different images that I saw as well. Some of these are fun, where you see ocelots running across the street in the middle of the day in Texas, which is rare because they're nocturnal animals, and very few of them have crossed over the border and reside in the United States. So let's talk about the fall products. Now, as we all know, there's an order card that has nuts and chocolates on it, and those are the items that are sold in person. Whereas all the nuts and chocolates are also sold online, along with all the magazine subscriptions that we've had in this program for years. There's over 350 different magazine offerings, both in the digital version as well as the printed version that gets mailed directly to the customers in their mailbox. This is a growing segment of the products, believe it or not. And the reason it's growing is because our system has provided girls the opportunity to reach out to more customers. In the past, and way back in the old days, girls used to take a magazine brochure, order forms, and go door to door. Now they're able to put in the email addresses and extend to family members across the country and get more magazine subscriptions as a result. There's also the delicious nuts and chocolates that do appear on the order card as well as all online. And I want to remind everybody of the most popular items in the order card from last year. And those included the English butter toffee, the dark chocolate caramel caps with sea salt, dark chocolate peppermint pretzels, peanut butter bears, and chocolate covered almonds. And notice one thing about all 5 of those top selling items. They're all chocolate items. Why is that? Because chocolate is always in every single one of the 109 councils that do a fall product program. They're always the most popular items, because for some reason customers like to buy the chocolate. They don't get them elsewhere. They don't get them in the grocery store, and they enjoy the chocolate. So when you're talking to the girls, it's always prudent to say, you know what, make sure you point out the chocolate items to the customers, because that's what always sells the best. And they may get more sales when they point out delicious chocolate items. Now, also on the order card and changes for this year are a new tin that will house the mint treasures, and that is called the Peace Out Girl Scout tin. It is part of the memory box collection that started last year. And then the holiday tin with the chickadees on top of the mushroom will house the pecan deluxe pecan clusters this year. So those are the 2 new tins that are in part of the program. And then 2 new items will show up on the order card, including cheddar caramel crunch and Thai chili mix. All right, so let's talk about what else is new for 2023. There are 2 new products on the M2 side of things, along with the magazines, and those are Tervis tumblers and the BarkBox items. The Tervis tumblers relationship just started this year, and it started in early June, after actually some of the printed materials already went to print without mention of these. So here's what they are. Tervis tumblers, we have over 300 different SKUs, ranging from the plastic insulated versions to the stainless steel insulated versions, with 100 different designs, sports teams, collegiate teams, and lots of fun different sayings and designs as well. And the shipping on these is only $5.99 per tumbler. Now, a customer that orders 3 tumblers or less will pay $5.99 per tumbler to have those shipped directly to their houses. But if they buy 4 or more, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th are all shipped for only $1 extra per tumbler. So that is a nice little incentive for the customers to buy 4 or more tumblers in order to get a break on the shipping. There's also
Doug, real quick. The Tervis tumblers, were there any Girl Scout patterns approved by GSUSA for that?
You know what? That is a great question. I should have put a slide in there, because every training somebody asks that question. Unfortunately, not any Girl Scout designs this year. What I think's happening is we're going to see if this relationship is a good relationship. It works very well. And so far, by the way, the councils that have kicked off their sales are crushing it on tumblers. So should we have a successful season, I would be willing to think that Tervis Tumblers would be willing to make a couple Girl Scout special designs.
And then the second question that came in about Tumbler specifically was any sense of the quality of the Tumbler. So they're Tervis. So I'm assuming based on just being name brand, they're a high quality.
Oh, absolutely. Tervis produces one of the highest qualities. And those, I have both Tervis, the insulated version in the plastic and insulated in the stainless steel, and both of them are absolutely fantastic. So, yes, we have many of these in your house, Dee says, and they love them. So this is the high quality, great tumblers for everybody to enjoy. Any other questions on that before I move on?
The only one I see is a concern about tumblers selling for, cheap on Amazon. I think just like cookies, I would address that in the same way as this is friends and family. So ideally your Girl Scout is reaching out to friends and family who want to support their troop and their individual goals. And so while some people might prefer to go the cheap route, the nice thing is Tervis, like Doug said, is a quality brand. And I would oftentimes, like he said, people are seeing that kick off really well so far. And I would assume that's based on the fact that, when a Girl Scout asks me to buy something and I'm invested in that individual's troop goals and individual goals, I would spend a little bit more money to buy the Tervis through their fall program versus online. So I think that's the only question I think and then we had one that wanted to go back to the Tervis slide.
And let me go back there in a second, but let me touch on what you just said, Ashley, because one of the reasons I put this slide up about the most popular items is to reinforce the fact that this program is not price sensitive. If you look at the price of the top 5 items in there, they're the most expensive items in the program. If it was price sensitive, we would see fruit slices and we would see, the trail mixes and the hot Cajun crunches as the top. But this proves that customers like to support the girls and they like to buy the items that they want and are not sensitive to price at all in this program. So going back to the Tervis slide, what was the question there?
I think they just wanted to see the question just said, can we go back to that slide? I think they just wanted a quick glance at it again. Someone said we have many of the Tervis mugs and love them. I agree. My grandmother is like a Tervis mug collector. And the ones that I have inherited over the years are wonderful. There's some booth questions that I'll address at the end of training. There's some conversation back and forth about booths.
Okay.
Ashley, someone in the chat had asked if the slides can be shared with troop leaders.
And I think I tried to answer it, but I think it's gotten lost. So yes, later this week, once I have this recording cut down appropriately and a link, I will share both the slides and the recording link so that if you want to use snippets of the slides with your troops or the recording with your troops, you absolutely can do that. And then tumblers and BarkBox are shipped only. So
they're online and everything is shipped directly to the customer with the exception of the items on the order card that are also available to buy online, girl delivered. But everything else is shipped directly to the customer. BarkBox, Tervis, magazines, and then a whole bunch of different nut and chocolate items that are not appearing on the order card, as well as all those on the order card, because the customer, as I'll get to in a second, can order direct shipped nuts and chocolates too. Okay, keep going.
Yes.
You got it. Okay, so GSUSA went to BarkBox. Now, BarkBox, for those of you that don't know, it's a subscription-based product where customers pay a monthly fee and then they receive a random box every single month of different toys for the dogs as well as treats for the dogs. And Girl Scouts USA went to BarkBox and said, hey, we got a great idea. How about forgetting the subscription side of it, just putting together a box solely for Girl Scouts that we will sell through our program. And so this has gone like gangbusters since the program has started for many, many councils. It is a $19.99. It's $19.99 for this box. They call it the Mini Bark Box. And inside it is, as you see on the screen, the green beret, and sewn into the green beret is a squeaky toy. So take pictures of your dog with the green beret before they figure out there's a squeaky toy in there, because dog owners, you know what happens when they find that squeaky toy. And then it also comes with an oversized canister. Now think of the nuts in this program, the canisters that they come in. This is an oversized canister filled with Berry Trio dog treats. And again, it's $19.99. But the really cool thing also is that BarkBox wants this relationship to go well too. So they're subsidizing shipping. They're saying, well, if you buy one, ship it to an address, it's $5. If you buy two, ship it to the same address, it's still only $5. Buy 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, ship it to the same address, it's still only $5. So buy as many as you want to, have them shipped to the same address, and it will only cost $5 in shipping. All right, so let's get into the reward side of things. First of all, with rewards comes the patches. And let's talk about the patches, because back this year, we have 3 theme patches that we always make very easily attainable for the girls. And when the girls get all 3 patches, they fit together to make a really neat scene. However, we design them so that even if the girl earns only 1 patch, it still appears really cool on their uniform. So the 3 patches on the left-hand side, the 3 theme patches, can be attained when, number 1, the Own Your Magic patch can be attained when the girls takes the 4 easy steps in 5 to 7 minutes to create our online storefront. And in that 4th and final step, they enter 18 or more email addresses of family members, friends of the family, or even people that our parents work for. But notice, I didn't say they had to sell even 1 item to get the Own Your Magic patch, because they don't. They just got to create your storefront and enter those email addresses. Why do we do stuff like that, by the way? Because remember the statistic I showed you at the beginning, where every single girl that participated last year online sold a huge amount of sales. That's why we do it. Number 2 is the 2023 patch. When they get up to 20 total items sold, they will earn the 2023 patch. And when they get to 55 total items sold, they will earn the last patch. And then there's a goal getter patch for all the girls that sell 200 or more items. Another patch they can attain is the Care to Share patch. And in this program, customers both through the order card or online can donate $8. No shipping is charged for when they make this donation, even though a nut and chocolate item will be shipped to all of those, to all of you or all the service units and troops, so that you can distribute those items locally to your local food banks, military, hometown heroes, or the beneficiaries of your choice. That is a really neat program that benefits people that you believe need to be benefited. And when the girls go ahead and they generate 5 or more of those donations, not only do they get the Care to Share patch, but they'll also receive the Ocelot charm as well. And there's another patch I want to highlight. For those of you that have been part of this program for years, you already know about it. But one of the 4 steps of creating your online storefront is to create an avatar that looks like yourself, your little online salesperson of sorts. Well, if you do a great job in this program, you can also have a patch with that avatar on it, including your name, your initials, or your nickname at the top of the patch. And you even get to design the patch yourself. So how do the girls earn that? Well, first of all, they create the avatar, which is super easy. Then they enter 18 emails into the system when they're creating their online storefront. And then when they reach $450 in total sales, this patch will go into production and be mailed directly to the girl's house. She gets to design the patch, decide what goes at the top of the patch with her name, initials, or nickname. She gets to decide the outfit that the avatar is wearing and the background between the 2 different backgrounds that you see online. There's another patch that has the avatar that she can attain this year, and that's by participating in both product programs, the Fall Take Action program as well as the Cookie program. All she has to do to qualify in the fall to earn this patch is create her online storefront with 18 or more email addresses. And of course, when she does that, she's also earning one of those theme patches. Plus, At the end of the program for the Take Action Fall program, if she does that, she will receive a congratulatory email from our system. It will remind her that she just met the fall criteria. It'll have a picture of this patch in the email, and then it will remind her that all she now needs to do is sell 400 more boxes of cookies in the upcoming cookie program. So it's our way to support all of you and the cookie program as well by giving her the opportunity to participate in both and earn this really cool patch. Now, we have a reward program that has been set up where the girls can make donations in lieu of rewards. So you're going to see a lot of choices at each different level. But please recognize that every level is cumulative. So the more she does, the more rewards she will be able to earn. And it starts off at, as you notice on the left-hand side, it starts off at 20 items where she'll be able to earn that 2023 patch. When she sells just 15 more items, she will also have a choice of this really cool theme necklace. That pendant is, just to give you a perspective, is the size of a dime. And when you open it up, it displays the Own Your Magic theme. Or the girl can make a $5 donation through the system. And the council will be able to designate that money to a charity of choice that happens throughout the process of deciding which charities they're going to donate to. When she gets up to 55 total items, she'll receive the patch, the choice of the necklace, or to make a donation. And then she'll also receive another patch, one of the 3 theme patches, and then her choice of the small Ocelot plush, or to make another $5 donation. She gets up to 80 total items. She receives everything we've just talked about. Plus, she'll get the Bluetooth tower speaker, the color changing markers, or the ability to, not the color changing markers, color changing camp light. Sorry about that you see on the right-hand side, or the ability to make a $15 donation. Now, she doesn't have to make a donation at every place. Sometimes she might want to choose a reward or make a donation if she wants to. The system will keep track of all of her choices. When she gets up to 115 total items, she'll get everything we just talked about and the choice between the cat ear LED headphones or another $15 donation. When she gets up to 150 items, she'll get everything else, plus a choice of the inflatable couch, or a $35 donation, or she can receive a $35 reward card for things from the Girl Scouts of Northern California. When she gets up to 200 items, she'll add to that the Goal Getter patch, a choice of a 2-person tent, or a $50 donation, or a $50 reward card. And then at 250 total items, she will add to everything that we've just mentioned an engraved plaque plus a $10 reward card. And please understand that all 250 item entrepreneurs will receive that plaque commemorating their achievement plus the reward card, and a reward card for every 10 additional items she sells beyond 250. So for instance, 260, she gets another reward card. And then for every 10, all the way past that as well. Now we have a really cool program that's called the Ocelot Adoption Kit. If 75% of the troop sends 18 or more emails or enters 18 or more emails into the system when they're creating their online storefront, and they reach 50 plus items PGA, they're going to receive a Ocelot Adoption Kit that includes, for each participating girl, the 223 philanthropist patch, plus a pair of Ocelot socks, and then a pair of Ocelot socks for 2 leaders of that same troop. All right, so now we've talked about the rewards, the products. Let's talk about the online girl experience. This is the one that I've told you is so easy to participate in. It only takes 4 easy steps, 5 to 7 minutes. Let me walk you through that really quickly so you have a better idea and can help answer questions when the girls ask those of you. The site will open on September 30th. That's the first day that any girl can get into the system to create this year's online storefront. How does she get in? 2 different ways. One is by simply typing into a browser, gsnutsandmags.com/gsnorcal. Where does she find that? She finds that on the M2 flyer that's handed out with the order card from all of you at your next meeting after you've received these printed materials. Hopefully you've already handed them out, or hopefully you've at least received them. Plus, the caregivers are all going to be notified on the 30th that the program has started, and gives a link in the email to the caregivers the ability to land on the same store homepage, which looks like this. So whether you type it in the browser or click on the email that comes to the caregivers, they will both land in the same place. Now, our entire site can be translated over into Spanish with one click of the button in the upper right-hand corner. But to create this year's storefront, all the girl needs to do is click on create an account. After she creates an account in 5 to 7 minutes, and she wants to log back in throughout the rest of the program, she will just click on the login from there on out. And all of you can actually log in from the same page here to manage your troops. So the first thing we do is we ask for the caregiver's information, including their email address and a password. And that email address and password will be their login credentials throughout the rest of the program. Once they do that, we start the 4-step, 5 to 7 minute process, which is super easy because on step number 1, there's even a training video for the parents. Now they can pause that and simply go over to the left side and type in their troop number. Even parents that don't know their troop number can simply click, I don't know my troop number. And as part of the service that the council offers, they will see those girls, assign them their troop number by researching it, and all the information will be up to speed. Parent will then be able to type in their last name. We will dig into the system to find all the girls that have been uploaded in the system that have the same last name, and let the girl make the choice to which one is her name. Once she clicks on her name, she will be able to type in her nickname. Remember the personalized patch where she can have her first name, her initials, or her nickname? This is where we collect her nickname. Then we ask 3 simple questions. What does Girl Scouting mean to you? What is your goal? And what does your troop plan to do with the money? So all of you troop leaders, please take that as a hint to start having that discussion with your girls right away. Hey, girls, we're starting the Take Action Fall program. And what are we going to do this year with all the proceeds that we earn? Let's make a decision. Let's see how much it costs. Let's set our goals so that when September 30th comes, and you guys are all asked that question, you can type it in to let your customers know what we're going to do with the money so they can support us. We take those answers to those 3 questions and create a paragraph that's going to be displayed on the girls' homepage for the customers to see. We realize that the more the customers understand about her motives, her goals, and how she's going to benefit from the proceeds from this program, they are more willing to buy more items. That is the end of step number 1. Step number 1 took literally probably not even a minute. Step number 2 is even easier and even more fun. It's where the girl gets to create a likeness of herself, or that online salesperson, that online entrepreneur, as we say in this program. She can use all the features to the right of the figure over there to create the avatar to look just like herself. And after she creates the avatar to look like herself, she can make the avatar sound like herself by clicking on the buttons right underneath her avatar to display this ability to record her voice in the computer. We provide a sample script right on that page, or she can create her own. And when she's ready to record her voice, she clicks the red button, records her voice, and then our system will take that voice, add it to her avatar, and provide the opportunity for the avatar to talk directly to the customers in the girl's voice. Now, let me give you a really important statistic, because in the past, girls who have added their voice to the avatar have sold statistically 100% more than the girls that don't add their voice to the avatar. That's how powerful that is to the customers, because imagine yourself as the customer. When you hear an avatar talking in the girl's voice, it puts a smile on your face bigger than just seeing the avatar. And that smile turns into more purchases. So now we're done with step number 2, which was, again, only a minute or 2. We go to step number 3, which is actually optional. The girls can skip through this, come back to it later, or simply upload their own photo and or their own video that they've made promoting the Take Action program. So regardless of whether they take advantage of this option or not, notice that the patch that I mentioned is over on the right-hand side, and right above it is the criteria that it takes to earn it. And one of those criteria is entering email addresses, which takes us to the 4th and final step, putting email addresses into the system before launching and creating our storefront. Now, let me pause for a second and let all of you know that girls that participated in the program last year that are coming back this year all of the email addresses they entered last year that resulted in orders will be waiting for them when they get to this page. So if they have 10 returning customers from last year, all 10 email addresses will already be there. And the really good thing about that is that those customers will get a different email than the new customers will. They'll get a thank you email, and they'll also have the ability to, with a couple clicks of the button, renew all of the magazines they bought last year, making it easier for the customer, making the whole experience more pleasant, and encouraging them to come back in future years. They can backfill all their email addresses by typing them in one by one, or watch this. Right across the top, you see the icons that are related to different email platforms. When the caregiver, the parent, clicks on their platform, we will go into their system and pull up all of the contact lists and share it with them right on the screen. They can select or deselect any of those email addresses, and with one more click of the button, of the green button down in the bottom right-hand corner, they can add, in this case, 283 email addresses with one click of the button right there. When they are done adding email addresses into the system, they can turn off girl delivery for any particular email or potential customer that they want to. Why would they want to do that? Well, some people say because they geographically are a little bit too far away from us, so we can't get those products to them very easily, and we aren't going to pay for shipping ourselves. So we're going to not even offer. Oops, are you pausing me?
I was gonna say, in a minute, when you're done talking about this, there is a question about the voice recording that I want to ask you that came in.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do that right this second?
Sorry, no, I was just putting my hand up so that you could finish this, and then we'll go back to that before we get
Okay,
too
sounds
far
good.
past it and I miss it in the
Okay.
chat.
Sounds good, Ashley. So why would they want to turn that off? For reasons like that. But I also caution everybody, don't always turn it off because the person doesn't live by you. If you do turn it off, they aren't even offered the option to buy items online, nuts and chocolates online, to be girl delivered. But keep it on for most people because we have generous relatives. You know, the girl's parents might have their brother or sister, the girl's aunt and uncle, or the grandparents. Be really generous and say, you know what, I just bought 10 items from you. Don't worry about getting those to me out here in New York. Keep them in your kitchen, enjoy them. And when I come out to visit you, if there's any left, I'll enjoy them then. But congratulations on participating in the program and good luck, and here's to your success. So it gives them an opportunity to buy items, not have to pay shipping for them, and which will result in them being able to buy more. So if anybody does buy a girl delivery option or item, and the girl is not given those items to enjoy themselves, and the girl can't get them delivered to that customer, they can call our customer service and we can simply void that order out. Now, after they've entered the email addresses, they will simply launch their campaign right then and there. And right when they do, I'll tell you what happens after I answer questions now about the what we were talking about.
Yeah, the question that came in about the voice recording was, does M2 store that information and protect it in the same way that like councils are storing Girl Scouts' full names and birth dates, etc.?
The voices, do we store the voice?
Yeah, or is it so the question, let me read the question verbatim. Are the girls' voices considered personal information that will be stored and protected in the same way that names and birthdays, etc. are? So I can speak to like the council in Salesforce and protecting that information, but the voices are in the M2 system. So I wasn't sure if you had any answer around how that's handled like post-program.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do is we purge everything out of the system other than email addresses that were advantageous to the girl from the year before. So at the end of the Girl Scout year, June 30th, everything disappears. We do not sell any voices. We do not sell any images. We do not sell anything. We don't even sell email addresses or home addresses for any marketing purposes at all. Everything is owned by the Girl Scout program, and it's our agreement as a vendor of the Girl Scouts not to do anything with that personal information other than use it to be advantageous for the Girl Scout and the council.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Keep going.
Okay. So now let's get, they launched their program. The storefronts are built. There's a link to the storefront, and our system offers the girl the opportunity to share that link to their storefront via Facebook, Twitter, and or via text messaging. And after they take advantage of that, they land on the patch design page. This is an interactive page where the girls can keep their first name at the top of the patch. They can switch it over to their initials or put their nickname at the top. They can leave the background to be the waterfall, or they can change it over to the ocelot hanging out in the tree. And then they can leave their avatar in the outfit they originally designed their avatar to wear, or for the sake of the patch, switch over to the pink romper or the gray safari suit. And once they design the patch exactly the way they're comfortable and they like it, they'll toggle over the switch just to the right of the patch, type in their mailing address, and then click save. And we will confirm their patch, and what the envelope will look like, as well as the address that they just typed in, so they know that they will receive their patch in their mailbox after they have earned it. We congratulate and thank her for creating her online storefront. We'll show her the patch that she just earned by entering the email addresses into the system, and then provide her links at the bottom of that email so she can check her progress and even shop on her own storefront. And from there, she lands on her dashboard. Now, the dashboard is what she gets to enjoy after completing this 5 to 7 minute activity. And I want to point out a few things. You're the troop leaders. You're the ones that have the direct contact with her. So here's how you teach her how to manage this program like a business. First of all, you got to understand your customers and understand how customers think. And when they get to your dashboard, when the customers get to your storefront, they will see the progress bar of your progress compared to the goal that you set for yourself. And tell the girls, if the customers get there and they see that you've already reached your goal, are they likely to buy more? Are they likely to buy at all? More than likely, no. So here's what they need to do. They need to pay attention to their progress towards their goal. And as they're getting close, they can click on the link right underneath the avatar on their dashboard to display this page. They can highlight their current goal, switch it over to a new goal, and then hit update, and automatically, instantaneously, their goal will update. So always keeping their goal higher than their progress. Parents with more than one Girl Scout in the program can go ahead and register another Girl Scout simply by creating the avatar, entering email addresses. And people always ask me, okay, so I got 2 girls. Can we use the same email addresses for both girls? The answer is yes, of course you can. Why is that? Because grandparents love to support their grandkids. It doesn't matter. They'll support them both equally. So let them send the same email addresses out. It's okay for that to happen. And then the parents that register more than one Girl Scout can always manage which program and which profile they're tracking by clicking on the icon at the bottom. They'll see all the Girl Scouts that are registered under that caregiver's email address and password and be able to select them. Now, the girls will go and pick up that order card and get really motivated and do great job selling using the order card. But we ask the caregivers, the parents, the girls, to enter the success of their order card into the system by clicking on the Manage Paper Orders icon that you just saw right there. When they click on that, they can enter the items of each flavor and how many they've sold. This will be something that will always be a running total of the total amount sold. They can update this at any time, keeping on the screen the total amount sold at any time in the course of this program. There is the icon that says emails. They can click on that and see all the email addresses that were in the system when they first launched their program. They can see what's happened to each email address by looking at the key at the bottom, adding more email addresses at any time throughout the program to be more successful, and then simply updating the information they just put into the system. If they see that Uncle Doug, for instance, hasn't opened up his email, there's even a resend button right next to Uncle Doug's email address that the girl can click on so that Uncle Doug will see it at the top of his inbox when he gets to work the next morning. They have a reports tab or a reports icon on their dashboard that when they click on it, they can see reports just like any other business entrepreneur can. They can see all of their sales, or they can actually break it out by magazine sales, direct ship nuts. They can even see how many order cards, items they put in, tumblers, BarkBox items, there's a tab that says campaign stats that lets the girl know how many email addresses our system is showing are in the system, because so many different things are tied to those email addresses. So she can check for herself how many email addresses are showing up as in the system. She can click and see all the online girl delivered nut orders that have been placed and who those customers are. And every report in the system can be printed, downloaded, or even emailed. Now, there's lots of motivated girls out there that want to be even more successful than just creating their storefront and just picking up the order card. So they're going to want to click on the tools that we've created for them. When they click on the door hanger or the business card icons, these will show up on their screen. They can print them out and hand them out to customers because they're already built for the girl with her avatar, the paragraph about why this is important, what her goals are, and what the Troop plans to do with the money. There's even a QR code on the door hanger and special information for each customer to easily be able to go right to her online store. Now, remember, I also told you she can share a link to her storefront via text messaging. Well, in the upper right-hand corner on that phone image is what the actual ad will look like that the customer gets when they receive a text message from the girl with a link to her storefront. It's really great, it's creative, and it generates a lot of curiosity for that customer to tap on it and go directly to shopping from their phone. The girl can update her campaign video. Remember, step number 3, I said was optional. If she skips past it, she can click on this and upload a video to help her sell even more. She can update her personalized patch, her avatar at any time. Maybe she got braces after she first created her avatar and she wants to add braces to her avatar. She can visit her avatar room that has digital rewards that we reward her with digital rewards based off of things we know will help her be more successful. If she wants to find out other rewards she can earn, she clicks on the question mark and we will tell her what it takes to earn the specific digital rewards. And in there, also in that room, is a Troop photo. You all have access to a Troop photo from your dashboards, and the girls will find that Troop photo right here in their avatar room. When they click on it, they will see the avatar you created as well as the avatar that all their fellow Girl Scouts created. And I always recommend that Troop leaders print these out before every single meeting, letting the girls know, hey, listen, this is this week's avatar Troop photo. And the girls who do not have their avatar on there are going to get a little curious and say, well, how do I get mine on there? And you simply say, look, I'll make sure your parents get an email, because you as a Troop leader can go and generate an email that goes out to the customers, and you can give her the M2 flyer and say, just type in this address when you get home with your parents' help. And you, in 5 to 7 minutes, can create your store and have your avatar show up for next week's photo. A lot of Troop leaders get really creative with these, and they even create t-shirts that the girls can wear together when they're out in public doing lots of fun, different things together. And they feel proud about those avatars, and they will say, oh, this one's me, that one's her. And it's really a fun way to generate excitement. All the physical rewards that we went over are on the back of the order card, but also housed and managed in the system. And when the girl clicks on the physical rewards icon, she'll see all the physical rewards available, the criteria it takes to earn it, and when she gets to a level where there's a choice, in your case, a choice between the reward or a donation, we will notify her that she reached that level and then give her the option to make that choice right online. She can share her links to her storefront throughout the entire program. The more time she shares it, the more successful she will be. She can update her profile and at any time in real time, see the top sellers in her Troop. Okay, so that was the girl experience. If there's any questions outstanding when we're done or right now, do you want to go over them,
Just
Ashley?
real quick, there's a couple about QR codes. Does the QR code change year to year, or is it the same as last year if it's as long as the Girl Scout is still hooked to the same member number?
It should be new this year because that
be new
campaign
every
from
year.
last year is all deleted. So it's a
Okay.
new QR code.
So, yep, it isn't. So yes, you can. There was 2 questions. One was, are there QR codes? Yes, there are, that you can copy and paste onto door hangers and things. The second one was, do they stay the same? So no, you will want to add a QR code and create a new one. And then real quick, while we're on the girl experience, what's the last day they can change their avatar for the patch?
So immediately when they earn the patch, their patch will be sent into production. So if they are about to earn it, change that avatar to whatever you want it to be. Because if she earns it the next day, it will automatically go into production. I'm actually married to the person who gets those patches or used to get those patches into production. So I know exactly how that whole process works. Any other questions on that?
One person asked and they opted out of the patch as an adult. So the way that the troop cookie or the troop fall manager would earn it, are they able to opt out of that?
The volunteer opt out of getting a patch.
Yes.
If they don't create the patch, they won't get the patch.
Okay. And then the marketing emails, is there a way? So this volunteer made a comment that last year, after people had ordered, they were still getting the automated emails. My customers didn't have that issue, or they didn't tell me they had that issue. So ideally, once they've purchased and it's gone through, the email should quit, correct?
Well, how M2 has it set up is there's basically two sets of products, the nuts and chocolates, and then the magazines and other. So in the system, the way they have it set up is if a customer makes a purchase on one side or the other, there's still going to be a reminder email that there are other products available to purchase from to support that girl. However, what they've done this year is they've put in that reminder email the link right in the body of the email that the customer can click on and opt out of receiving any more emails for just the season. It used to be for the entirety of the M2 experience, Girl Scout experience, but now it's simply for the 2023 season as an example.
And then how is it 3 emails that are sent? Or is it just append?
Well, typically most programs run 4 weeks. And what happens is it all depends on when the girl gets started. Let's just say she gets started on the September 30th. On September 30th, an email will go out to her entire list. 50% of the entire program is received through that first email to all customers. If the customer gets a reminder email, it will be 6 days later, and then another 6 days later, and then 3 days before the last end of the program.
Okay.
If the girl gets, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. I don't. We haven't gotten to shipping fees and things like that yet because we're getting ready to start supporter experience. So I was just making sure. Oh, and then can volunteers change the name on their patch? I know my Girl Scout has been asked what name she wants on her patch.
When you design your patch, just like the girl could, there should be a way for the volunteer to decide what name gets put on that patch. Same way as the girl, is my understanding.
And Elizabeth, the best option would be to, if you're having trouble with that, I would say call M2's support line. And we'll make sure to put that. It's right here at the bottom, but they would be able to walk you through those steps better than I can tech help with that. And then if a troop has 2 leaders, do they both get the patch or just the main? They both get the patch.
They both get the patch.
And is there a way to customize the emails?
There's not a way to customize the email. Those are all preset. And when we get to the volunteer experience, we'll talk a little bit more about the patch. We'll talk about the email that gets sent to the caregivers.
Okay.
But there's not a way to customize the emails to caregivers or even to the customers.
And for some reason, some are not able to see the bottom of your screen. I'm not sure why. That might be your view on your device because I am seeing his entire screen. And then one more quick question, Doug, because you're going to have this answer quicker than me. It says $8 donation. Items to donate, I'm assuming, are $8. And if they sell 5 of those, they get the patch.
Correct.
Okay, that was a question earlier. And I was like, I think it was just how the slide presented. So Care to Share patch you earn for selling 5 donation items, which are $8 a piece.
That's right. And you also receive the Ocelot charm.
Oh, yes. Okay. And then, so then just to clarify a question in the chat, for Girl Scout cookie program, it's on Digital Cookie and you do have to push those out. For fall program, M2 is an automated email process. So you don't have to do, you put the emails in, you launch your Girl Scout sale, and then it does the work for her.
That's what's coming up next.
Yes, that's what I figured. So, okay, sorry, Doug, you can keep going.
You don't have to be
I'm
sorry.
hoping we
These are
have
great
enough
questions.
time here and this won't cut us. I'm
Okay,
gonna go see if I
so
can change it.
this next experience is the supporter's experience. The supporter is the one that has the Girl Scout come up to them with the order card, but online, they're the ones that receive the email. And again, just like you were saying, the system will build the email for the girl. She doesn't have to do it herself. She just enters the email address, launches her program, and the system does the work for her, making it easy for her to be able to focus on other things at home. The email will go out, in this case, to Uncle Doug, and Uncle Doug will open it up on the screen, be able to click on the icon right above the girl's avatar and listen to the avatar deliver that special message in her own voice. There's a link at the bottom of the email that the customer will click on to go right to the girl's storefront, where they'll see the avatar, the paragraph that the girl created when she answered the 3 simple questions about why this program was important to her, what her goal is, and what her true plans to do with the money. Then the customer, notice that what we've done here is we made it really easy for the customer. We know that customers already have in their mind what items they want to buy. So we broke it out by category, given the customers the options to click on any particular product item, knowing that they can then see those product items in the forefront, if you will, of the storefront, with other items available to purchase in the background. For instance, they can click on magazines, or they can click on nuts and chocolates. Now, when they click on nuts and chocolates, our system will ask the customer, before you go any further, please tell us what items or how you would like the items you're about to shop for to be delivered to you. Do you want the items to be delivered by the girl herself, where you don't have to pay for shipping, and those will come after the program is over? Or do you prefer the convenience of Federal Express to deliver those, where you pay for shipping and then you get to shop for more and more items? Now, again, depending on what choice they make, depends on how many nut and chocolate items show up in their storefront. If it's girl delivered, it's only the items that are on the order card. Okay. Now what they can do is they click on the BarkBox items and see the BarkBox first. They can click on tumblers. Just to give you an example, when they click on the tumblers, first of all, they're going to see the girl's avatar in the top corner. They're also going to see the progress bar that I mentioned in the top corner. So if the girl's already reached her goal, that's a disincentive for that customer. So make sure that girl, try to stress that as much as you can to the girls. Paragraph that talks about why this program is important to her goals and what the true plans to do with the money. And then you'll notice that because they clicked on tumblers, that's in the forefront, and they can select and shop through the tumblers. But there's also the magazines, and then at the bottom will be the BarkBox. Once they put a tumbler as an example in their shopping cart, and then they go to checkout, they will be able to also choose to take advantage of a special offer that we'll have waiting for them. In this case, a discounted magazine that they can add to their cart to help the girl be more successful and to be able to get a magazine subscription at a very deeply discounted rate. Whether they take advantage of that or not doesn't matter. They check out, they receive a confirmation email, and in that email, it talks about everything they ordered, their credit card number, as well as their address. And then the
Your
customer.
screen share went away.
My screen share went away?
Yes, sorry. I think it was my fault trying to make sure the Zoom wouldn't end at 7 p.m.
Oops, I am disabled. You got to make me a co-host again.
Fixing it now.
I didn't even notice that it wasn't sharing.
Nope, totally my fault. I was messing with settings.
That's okay. So let me share that again. And you heard me say these things. So let me just kind of scroll back a couple slides just so you can see what I was talking about. There's the opportunity to buy the magazine at the checkout. That's putting the item in the shopping cart, and that's what a tumbler storefront looks like, where the girls' avatar is at the top, her paragraph, the tumblers, magazines below it, and then other items below that. And that's, I think, where we pretty much missed being able to see everything, because you left and then you came back pretty quick.
Yes, I was trying to fix the settings, but
That's okay. There's the confirmation email with all the information about the order, as well as our customer service information at the bottom. So lastly, I'm going to finish up with the volunteer experience. This is your experience. And today you should have received the email. If you did not see that email come in your inbox today and you think you should have, please go in right away after this training and look in your spam or your junk or your other folder for that email, because there's a link in that email that you should be able to click on right when you get the email, and that'll get you to be able to log in and go through the information I'm about to tell you. The email would have come from email@mail.gsnutsandmags.com. And when you click on the link in this email, we will give you the opportunity to create your own password. We will present a troop training video that you do have to watch in its entirety that will tell you about all the links on your dashboard. That's why I'm not going to go in depth about a lot of the links on your dashboard, because that troop training video does it. Then we will be displaying for you the ability to view the parent adult email campaign. Now that parent adult email campaign will look similar to this. It'll have all the email addresses of the parents in your troop, and all we need you to do is click send and continue. Even though you click send and continue now, the emails will come from you, but not go out to the caregivers until September 30th, the first day of the program. And that also helps satisfy the criteria for the patch that you have the opportunity to earn as well. Now, when you land on your dashboard, you can access and manage the parent adult email campaign by clicking on the link you see highlighted. When you click on that, all the email addresses that were in the system when you launched the program are still there. You can see, you can add more contacts of caregivers are related to the girls in your troop. You can see the email that is going to be going to the parents. You can update this at any time throughout the program, and you can even see, starting on September 30th, who has received opened up emails, not opened up emails. All that sort of information is available to you, just like it was for the girl. The troop training video.
Real quick, I have a lot of questions about that email to set up. If you did not get that email, shoot me an email, apash@gsnorcal.org, and I will get that over to our data team. She is doing a new upload tomorrow, so she can problem solve that. At the very end, I'll put my email back out so it doesn't get lost, but
Okay.
sorry. I just was getting a lot of that, thought it would be better to answer live.
Okay, those of you that didn't get the email, when you get it, when you open it up, you'll have that training video. And after you watch it for the first time, you can always access it from your dashboard by clicking on the link you see highlighted on your screen. You can also make sure that you don't have to log out. If you manage more than one troop, or you're a service unit volunteer and have a troop, you don't have to log out to manage a different role. You can simply go up into the upper right-hand corner, click on that, click change role, and then be able to select your new role. We have highlighted on the screen the send messages feature. This is a really cool way for troop leaders to communicate directly with the girls. You can communicate with a segment of the girls in your troop, maybe just those that have launched, congratulating them, reminding them to keep an eye out for their goal and their progress towards their goal. Maybe you want to reach out to just the girls that have not yet launched their program and saying, hey, listen, it only takes 4 easy steps in 5 to 7 minutes. And when you do, your troop avatar will show up on our troop photo as well. Lots of different ways to communicate directly through our system without having to create emails. And we'll even give you tips of verbiage to use in those messages. There's a reports link on your dashboard that when you click on that, just like the girl, you have a whole plethora of reports to access. You can see all of your sales in the troop. You can see each segmented group. You can break it out by segmented group in reports. And there's even the ability to say how many tumblers, BarkBox. There's a special reports tab where you can generate reports for rewards and for a summary report, for products, for financials, all that sort of stuff. And then there's a summary report tab, which is actually the most popular and most utilized report in the system. When you click on that, you'll see every single thing you probably could imagine you want to see for the for your Take Action program for your troop. And please remember, every troop, just like or every report in the system, can be printed, downloaded to a PDF, exported to Excel, and even emailed to other people. And then there's the banking and payments tab. For those of you that are collecting monies from the order card sales from your girls, you can click on banking and payments and keep track right in our system of which girls owe you money, which ones have paid, how much they paid, how they paid, and any notes that they may have made or promises made about future payments. So you can keep track of that all right in the system. And then there's one last link I want to point out that's not going to show up in your dashboard until October 17th. October 17th is the day the council will submit the initial order of nuts and chocolates to the nut company. Once they submit that order, then we will display the delivery ticket link on your dashboard. This is the only place you're really going to see a concise report of what you are going to be picking up from your service unit. When you click on the delivery ticket tab, you can generate delivery tickets by troop or by girl. You can generate them by product or by rewards. And you can even have the financials on that delivery ticket or excluded from there. All of them will show up on your screen as PDFs. You can email them, you can print them, and just have them ready for when your girls are coming to pick up the product from you. And then we talked about the patch. Last item here is that you get to earn a patch. All you have to do to earn the patch is activate the parent adult email campaign. And then when your troop sells a minimum of $1 worth of product, that patch will go into production and be mailed directly to the address that you provide when you build your patch in the system. So we're going to end up, before answering all final questions, with important dates. Today, again, should have been the day that you got your email inviting you into the system. Now, most councils don't send that out until 7 days before the start of the program. So you still have a lot of time. If you didn't get yours today, that'll get rectified and you should get it tomorrow or the next day. When you open it up, just make sure all your girls in there, activate that parent adult email campaign, and then know that the program and those emails to the caregivers will go out on September 30th. The digital shops are open for direct shipped, donating, and girl delivery orders all the way to October 16th. And after that, it is just the delivery, the digital shops for the direct shipped and the donate orders only. And then the last day for in-person orders will be October the 15th. And that is also the last day that you will want to make sure that the parents and the girls get their order card orders into the system. They will be locked out on the 15th, and all of you and their service units will have that extra day to verify and correct and edit any more paper orders before the order gets submitted over to the nut company. And then the last day, the total last day for online orders will be November 12th. And then the last day for girls to be in the system to make any final reward choices will be November 15th, where the ACH withdrawal will take place from your account on November 21st. And then that's all I really have. I just encourage all of you to make it happen. And please discuss with your troop how the proceeds will be used as soon as you can. Set some goals and encourage every single girl to participate, because remember, there's that Ocelot adoption kit for the troops that have great participation. Activate your parent adult email campaign today or when your email arrives, and knowing that that email will go to the caregivers, kicking off the program on September 30th. And if you have help, if you need help, if you have questions, anybody has questions, send them to our customer care team. And they are sitting there in Ohio, anxiously waiting for the phone to ring or for the online inquiry to come through their computers, because they, like everybody else, are looking for a little job security, and your asking questions will help them feel better about their future. And they're always happy to help. So thank you for all your time tonight. There's another picture of our customer service information. Please feel free to take a screenshot or a picture of this and add it as an attachment to any replies via email that you have that you're going to be giving to people that are asking you questions. And thank you. Thank you, everybody. I look forward to a successful year and a magical year.
Thanks, Doug. Real quick, I have several things I jotted down that seem to be a lot of the same question, and we were answering it in different places. But I wanted to make sure we covered all of them. So first is those that were uploaded have to be registered for the 2024 membership year. That being both volunteers and Girl Scouts. So if you aren't yet registered for the membership year, that might be why you don't have your email. Or if you are missing Girl Scouts when you log in and you see that you're missing members of your troop, make sure they're re-registered. Every Tuesday and Thursday, our data team will do a new upload. However, feel free to email me and I can connect you with Lorraine and we can make sure we get that solved and get you in the system. What counts for rewards? So there was a lot of questions about whether or not the Tervis tumbler and the Bark Box counted toward the total sold for rewards. Absolutely. And you get troop proceeds on that at 20%, like all other items. If you need your service unit, fall product program manager contact, and you don't know who that is for your service unit, feel free to reach out to me or to your volunteer services manager. Either team can help you, myself or the volunteer service support team. Either of those teams, we can help you get that contact information so you can reach out and find out where you're not plugged in to have that information on when they're handing that stuff out, most likely at your September service unit meeting. Shipping day. I know that there have been years in the past where we did a free shipping day. That is still a conversation happening at a high level in the council. If we determine that we will have a free shipping day, we'll announce that later in October. So we're working with Ashton and I'm working with people who I report to figure out what that looks like and where that falls budgetarily, because just as a note, if we do any kind of shipping money off, that comes out of the council budget. That's not offset anywhere. In the past, I think there has been a few places that have helped offset that, but that's not a normal every year thing where we have a partner who's willing to help offset that for our customers. So stay tuned for information to come out in October if we are moving forward with that. This recording and the slide deck will be emailed out via M2 to all troop level users no later than Friday. I know it looked like somebody dropped my email in the contact again, in the chat again, and I will drop it one last time toward the very end. It is pasch@gsnorcal.org. There were questions about booths. So this is ideally a friends and family program. I know that historically there used to be cupboards and a boothing process. That has really, we've as a council have moved away from that over the last several years. You are welcome to take product out at your own risk. However, that really should be a troop leadership and Girl Scout conversation about what kind of risk you want to take. And then there was a really good note from a volunteer who had been doing booths in her area for a while. Please, please, please don't contact those like large cookie places like Walmart, Sam's Club, those like national agreement places, because that does run the risk, especially with Walmart. That's already a really rickety relationship with GSUSA. Every couple of years, GSUSA has to go back to them and really rehash and go through several months of negotiation to keep us as one of the very few approved vendors who can stand in front of a Walmart. And so please just respect some of those national partnerships. It was suggested that it really is more like a lemonade stand. But again, the real goal of fall program is a small, little fundraiser for your troop. That really is your friends and family, and to keep it simple. I am the contact for all council product program at this moment. So that was a good question in the chat. There was a question about shipping fees as well. I don't know if you have any of that information, Doug, exactly what those look like for this year. And whether or not, I think Hawaii, Alaska, and military addresses are those. I know for Cookie, those are included, but I always confuse fall.
Yeah, those anywhere in the United States are included. Hawaii might be a little bit different because to ship expedited items across the ocean over to Hawaii may be a little bit more expensive. So I'm not sure what Ashton does with that. But as I'm answer a couple more questions, I do have
and if you can't get a hold of it, I'll email Ashton and I'll make sure it goes in the Friday.
I have it here. I have it here. I'll
Oh.
pull it up on your screen for you in just 2 seconds. So hang with me. I have it from a different council.
And then there's a question while you're pulling that up about the ACH debit form. I need to ask finance. I would assume as long as your bank account hasn't changed, you do not need to resubmit. But I'll make sure to ask that question.
Actually, I can confirm that. Yeah,
Great.
it's so long as you have not changed your bank account, just one ACH credit on file will be good for as long as you have that bank account.
Okay, awesome. And then there's a question about when do in-person deliveries deliver to the customer? So girl delivered items that come into the service unit and you have to go pick up, that is the week of October 27th. And that schedule will be shared in the coming weeks onto which service unit is which day as we work with the warehouses on that. And then for the BarkBox, do all the orders to one address need to be submitted at once?
Yes. Yep. It's on a per transaction basis. And do you
Can
see
girls opt out of, I am seeing that one last, can girls opt out of in-person delivery?
yes, they can by, when you put in those email addresses, you can turn off in-person delivery for every single one of them if you really wanted to, so that the customers only have the ability to buy items and pay for shipping themselves.
And then there was a couple of questions and Anna answered it in the chat, but just to reiterate, the caregiver responsibility agreement is an annual thing that you should get signed at this time of year for both fall and cookie, whereas the ACH form is a one-time only thing unless you change your Troop bank account. So yeah, Jessica had a really good point. So it starts now and it runs through cookies being over, and then it'll start over again next every membership year technically. So October 1 to September 30th. You'll pick up your orders from your service unit cookie or fall manager, and they should be letting you know where that location is, time and date, and scheduling for you to come get those. Okay, I think I caught everything.
There was a question on there. I saw one. I want to make sure Leanne had one. Parents do not get the emails today, Leanne. They get it on September 30th.
And then we're going over shipping now, so I don't need to put that in Friday's email. And then I did have a question about when Ashton Farm Site will be updated for information for the 2 new products. I will ask Ashton to make sure that we put that in the Friday email. I'm not sure when they will have that up to date. All right. And then there is not additional training for parent or volunteers. Honestly, I've been on the parent side, the troop side, and the council side for 11 years now. Well, the parent side for like 8 of them, but it for caregivers and Girl Scouts, it really is such a simple, like that little flyer, and just it walks them right through it. We'll share this deck if you want to share any of this deck, especially that like girl side with them. We'll make sure we share this with you in the Friday email. So that you can pull the pieces that make the most sense for your caregivers and Girl Scouts. But it really is, for parents, it really is wonderful. And then if you have like Q&A needs, starting on September 27th, right before the program launches, we'll be doing Q&As, and you can sign up for those on our council website. We'll do Q&As like every Wednesday throughout the program. All right, Doug, sorry. You can talk about shipping now.
Well, just what's on the screen, basically. Can you see what's on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see? I got a million screens open, so I want to make sure that you're able to.
Yep. GS Online Nut Store Direct Ship. I see like green on one side.
And the chart on the left.
Yes.
Those are the shipping rates that Ashton Farms charges. So if you buy up to $15 worth of items and have it expedited, again, it's all temperature related, but if it's expedited, you'll only pay $20 in shipping. Whereas if you buy up to $30 worth of items, you'll pay $26, and so forth and so on down the line. Oh, by the way, For those customers that do this year, elect to pay shipping for nuts and chocolates, we at M2 Media are going to throw in a free magazine subscription just as a little feel good, make the customer feel valued. That magazine free subscription will not go towards rewards or towards proceeds or anything else. It is simply a free subscription that is going to be offered to the customers that pay shipping for nuts and chocolates.
Awesome. And then we had a good question. Where do items ship from? I am going to butcher the name of the town that Ashton Farms is in.
Well,
Is it Waukesha?
Most of it comes from Waukesha, Wisconsin, or Sun Prairie, Wisconsin,
So
right down the street.
it's all in Wisconsin. I've actually watched them make peanut butter and caramel and all those fun things. I've gotten to tour it years ago, and they make it all in-house. That's why it tastes so delicious. All right. Any other questions before, let's see.
Ashley, there was something
Yep.
that my mind drawing your attention. The process for maybe new troop members or people who hadn't renewed and then do renew, how do they get added into the M2 system?
So if you renew, every Tuesday and Thursday we're doing uploads. And so as long as you renew, in the next week, you'll be in plenty of time to be ready for September 30th. If you are the fall manager for your troop, you will go to your service unit fall manager to get product. The service unit fall managers will pick a location where our warehouses deliver to them to house that product, and then you'll come pick it up from them as well. And then tumblers and bark boxes are 20%. There was a typo from Doug does a lot of trainings, and there was a typo that we had missed, that like all of us had missed, that said 15%, because 20% is a really high troop proceed across the nation, just like as a note. So I come from a council that just went to 15. And so everything's 20%. There was just a typo because not every council offers the same amount of proceeds. Is the percentage of troops, so I'm assuming you're asking about the proceed percentage. That is something that we would look at annually, and it's based on budget. So about 50% of everything sold goes back to the cost of that item. So back to the cost of the magazine, the cost of the nut candy item. I don't recall Tervis and Bark Boxes breakdowns because those are newer. However, and then 10-ish% is spent on rewards, and then 20% goes to the troop, and then the difference stays at the council to help offset, like all product program, help offset council, camp fees, program fees, property costs, all of those things. But yes, every year that is a conversation, and that conversation includes what the proceeds are for troops. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up.
It's okay. There's a couple questions while you're looking. The free magazine subscription is done at the person's checkout. It's not a separate email that comes. That is all done right during the checkout process.
M2 is a separate system from eBuddy. So M2 is run, the M2 system, the GS Nuts and Mags org system is run by M2, who runs our fall program nationally. The eBuddy system is owned and run by Little Brownie Bakers. So you will log into two different systems depending on which program we're in. There were a few magazine orders that were incorrect from last year, different than order magazines. To whom should those concerns be sent? You will want to call the M2 help desk, and they can get that sorted out. And they're really quick at it too.
Yeah, use that number right. Oops, it's all gone. What happened?
Mandated reporter training. Michelle, that's a good question. I am still learning the ins and outs of that because that's specific to California as a state. Anna, do you happen to know that answer? Like, are we allowing volunteers to volunteer in roles like this that have not completed mandatory reporter training?
So the only thing at the moment that is tied to mandated reported training is the migration of training completions from Volunteer Learning Portal into GS Learn.
Okay.
So, but
Then it should not be,
a troop leader should have done their mandated reported training by now.
okay. Fall troop or fall troop product program manager may not have. It should not affect it, Michelle, but I will double check with data.
There is no, as far as I'm aware, there's no reason.
Yeah, I was
why
like,
they
it
wouldn't be
wasn't something
uploaded
that
to
I was asked about pulling people out for, so I don't think it impacted it. And then the caregiver responsibility agreement is not new. That was a question. It is something that annually you should have your caregivers filling out, and mainly because that's that along with receipts is how you or the council would hold them responsible for any debts they owe if they didn't pay. And in this program, I would just make sure they've paid for things, especially if they're doing all pre-order. So if you're choosing to do boost, that's a different situation. But if they're doing all pre-order and it's all coming off their nut and order card, ideally they could collect that money up front or run it through as girl delivered. That would not be problematic in this particular program. There's questions around where to get materials. You'll want to go to your service unit fall product manager for that. And so those should be coming out in your September service unit meetings. If you need to know who to contact and who that contact is, email me or email your volunteer services support manager. Either one of us can make sure we get you that contact. Elizabeth, if you're missing a troop, shoot me an email what that troop number is, and I will have our data team check on it. What is the percentage earned? So 20% of everything you sell stays as a troop proceed. In-person products will get delivered the week of October 27th. They are delivered to your service unit fall product program manager, so someone who lives in your area. And they will communicate to you the date and time that you need to pick up.
So there's one question that I've seen actually that hasn't been answered, which is if they're a brand new troop and they do not yet have a checking account,
Okay.
How do they get going for the full product?
I'm glad that you've done. I love Ashton. I see that one now. So that should not be an issue because we don't require new troops to have a checking account right off the bat because you would be earning funds. So you should be able to get started and then you would collect that money, and we're not going to pull the money you owe us until after the program has completed. So collect that money, utilize it to set up a checking account, and then you can turn that form in so that we know where to collect money from. And if you have deeper questions about that, reach out to me. I can get the full like steps for newer troops on that from our finance team. Salsa mix, is there an equivalent flavor on our order card? Doug, do we have an equivalent flavor to the salsa mix on the order card?
Salsa mix, they discontinued the salsa mix. Let me see what's on.
I don't know.
Whatever they have is also available online, just to make sure you know that. Every item of Ashton Farms is available online. So if you don't see it on the order card, they have the Cajun Crunch.
Okay, so Cajun Crunch would be the order card and the online item closest to salsa mix.
Yeah, as close as possible.
For some reason, your screen is like black.
Mine?
Yep, you're sharing a black screen. I don't know why.
That's weird. Sorry, hold on. We've got so many different. Let's do this.
And then we've technically taken an extra half an hour, which is, I appreciate everyone who stayed on that had questions to do that. So I don't know what's happening with your.
Can you see it now?
Nope. Let me pop my email address in the chat one more time so that you have it. Oh, there it is.
Okay, let me go back down to,
And thank you all for your time this evening. Hopefully we answered all your questions. If you have more, reach out to me. Yeah, so the hot Cajun crunch would be the next. It is a little spicier than the salsa mix though. Thanks, Laura. Have a good evening. All right, I think that's it. Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Anna.
my heavens, it's been a pleasure. What a great turnout. Congratulations. This was a fantastic turnout. Great to see everybody. Good luck to everybody. And I look forward to being with you throughout the program.
Thanks all. Have a good evening.